Hello, good morning. How are you? It's another edition of Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swenson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A lot to get to on the program this morning. It's a 5-guest show. Last week, it was announced that the first ever college baseball game to be played at the Field of Dreams movie site will be played next September, and the Luther College baseball program will be a part of it. We'll talk about that event coming up next year with head coach Bryan Nikkel. The Northeast Iowa Studio Artist Tour will take place this weekend. It's back and ready for more in an in-person event this year after being a virtual event last year. We'll preview the weekend event with Glen Ellickson, one of the organizers of this tour. It's National 4-H Week. We'll have a chat with Marissa Foels from the Allamakee County 4-H. We'll actually steal that conversation that she had with Eric and Kathy on KNEI earlier this week. We thank Eric and Kathy for letting us borrow that earlier this week. Coming up this Saturday, it's the Decorah Parks and Recreation Departments and the Decorah Fire Department's Touch a Truck event. We'll chat about that event with Blake Moen from the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department. But October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and our first guest this morning will address that issue. Her name is Bethany Kohlmeyer from Helping Services for Youth and Family. Bethany is our first guest this morning on Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. The month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and here to discuss that issue is Bethany Kohlmeyer. She is a dating violence advocate and volunteer coordinator with Helping Services for Youth and Family in Northeast Iowa. Bethany, thanks for taking the time to discuss this issue.
Absolutely. I'm very, very thankful to have the opportunity to just spread the word, especially in this month with it being, Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
The definition of domestic violence, what does that all entail? It might seem like a silly question, but families often look different than they did 25, 30 years ago. What all fits under the category of domestic violence nowadays?
It's very difficult to just define it as one definition because there is so many different various forms of domestic violence or dating violence. It could be forms of intimidation. It could be physical violence, verbal violence, maybe threats, stalking, maybe threats towards other family members, anything that has to do with power and control, with one individual, seeking that power over another individual.
How big of an issue is this in Northeast Iowa?
It definitely happens. It is something that we want people to know that they're not alone. It's difficult for me to put a number on it just because there are a lot of individuals that aren't aware of our services, or they're not in the position that they're ready to reach out or step forward. So it's hard to put a number on it, but I would let everyone know that it is definitely something that occurs in our area, and the best thing that we can do is just be there for each other.
And as for the services that you provide and are available to people that are going through this, what are some of the things that Helping Services for Youth and Family does to help out people going through matters like this?
For the DARK team, the dating or domestic abuse resource team, we often do various tasks. There's no real specific, but when it comes to services that we provide, it can be medical services, maybe medical advocacy or transportation. It could be support with everything that's going on, whether it's the situation. It could be court that we're assisting with. It could be, supporting children. There's a lot of different things. It's kind of one of those things that whatever the individual is in need of, our DARK team is going to do what we can to make that happen for them.
Are we moving in the right direction regarding the conversation regarding this issue? Because probably 30, 40 years ago, this was happening quite a bit and there weren't the resources available and it was taboo to talk about it. Is that part of society? Is that the willingness to have these conversations moving in the right direction in your mind?
Yeah, I do believe that that we are moving in the right direction, and just simply having conversations such as this one is, in the right direction of moving forward. However, I also believe that there is a huge gap of the reality versus the expectation of what people think things are, if that makes sense.
And I know a lot of the awareness efforts that you're taking place this month have to do with purple ribbons. And from what I understand, you have your law enforcement partners joining in regarding the awareness efforts. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So we do have, people may notice that we have purple ribbons going on law enforcement cars. That is to just that so everyone can know that we do stand together. However, we also like everyone to know that we appreciate law enforcement. We love the support, but when it comes to domestic violence and dating violence, it's not mandatory that everything goes to law enforcement. So that's very that just can be one thing that people may shy from or back away from, but we definitely do appreciate and love the support and bringing the awareness and just being a team and with the community as well.
And from what I understand, you'll have an event coming up on October 14th related to the awareness efforts of this month. Tell us about that.
Yes, we are going to be coming together at Pivo to do a canvas painting and get together and support each other in the best way possible, and come together as a community, just letting people know that we're around and people aren't alone.
Anything else you want to pass on to the public regarding this issue and the awareness efforts and the services that you guys provided, helping services for youth and family for folks that are dealing with this?
For folks that are dealing with this, we do have 8 local advocates that are available. We are available 24/7. We have a crisis line, and that number is 1-800-383-2988. That line is answered by local advocates, or we have local advocates that are automatically on call to respond to crises, or for any situation that may be needed at any time.
Bethany, we appreciate you taking the time to tell us about this very important issue and the services that you guys provided, helping services for youth and family. We thank you again for taking the time, and we thank you and everybody else at Helping Services for Youth and Family for all the good you do for our community.
And we also thank the community members and, simply just having this conversation as well. It's very important, and we just thank everybody for taking the time to listen, bring awareness, maybe do some outreach. And if there's anything that we can do to be assistance in the community, we would definitely like to do that as well.
Bethany Kohlmeyer is with Helping Services for Youth and Family, discussing October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Coming up this weekend, and another event that's back this year. It's the Touch a Truck event putting on by the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department and the Decorah Fire Department. And with us from the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department, Mr. Blake Moen. And Blake, tell us about the event coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Darren. So this Saturday, October 9th, is our annual Touch a Truck program that we've been doing for a few years. On Saturday, the program goes from 11 to 1 p.m. and it's located at the parking lot behind City Hall here in town. So it is a free event, and it's an event that you do not need to register for. It's one of those you just show up. So no need to register. It is a free event as well. It's a fun event, Darren, for kiddos and families to come to explore the vehicles that will be there that day, which are some of our area and city vehicles, including police trucks, fire trucks, tow trucks of area businesses, city maintenance vehicles. We have some other vehicles that are kind of farm equipment vehicles, and so on and so forth. So it's a fun event for kids and families to come and check those out and be able to explore those vehicles there. It's also included with it will be a free hot dog lunch, which is provided by the Decorah Fire Department, as this week is the Fire Prevention Week. So our program is in conjunction with Fire Prevention Week, as well as working with volunteers from the Decorah Rotary Club. So a lot of people involved, a lot of awesome opportunities for kiddos and families to come. And we greatly appreciate everyone who's taking part in Saturday, and we're looking forward to it and open for good weather.
And I know this was an event you didn't have last year with the way the world was, and it's got to be exciting to bring this event back, because it's about giving young people the opportunity to touch base with the folks that you hope you never see, but they're there if we need them. And it also just kind of brings the community together, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, being able to have it this year is just awesome, because we're looking forward to just so many different people coming together. In years past, we've looked at having hundreds of people coming, you know, especially with the event being an open house. It's one that folks can come and go as they please, but just for kids and families to be able to see firsthand the fire trucks and police trucks and some of the other area businesses, as I mentioned earlier, is just a really fun event for people to all come together. And we thank those, the Decorah Fire Department, as well as those other businesses that are taking part, because it really is kind of a fun family event for kids and families, as well as, of course, free lunch on the base from the Decorah Fire Department. So just a fun program for everyone to come together. And as I said, we're hoping for good weather and a good day overall.
And where else can you get a free lunch nowadays? Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Darren. Maybe if someone stopped at your house, but other than that, I don't know. So,
and what are the hours for the event coming up on Saturday?
So Saturday it will run from 11 to 1, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yep.
And as long as we got you on the line right now, obviously it's always a busy time with the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department. Anything else you want to pass on to the public about what's going on with the Parks and Recreation Department right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're kind of on the tail end of our flag football and volleyball programs, as we've got a couple more weeks, Saturday mornings going there. So those programs have been off and running well, and we're on our last few weeks there. We have one of our after school programs starting this week, so we're looking forward to that. And then as far as announcements, our youth basketball programs, our adult volleyball program registrations have now been released on our website, and you can go on our website to register. Again, that is for some of our youth basketball programs and our adult volleyball leagues as well. So feel free to go on our website. If you just Google search Decorah Park and Rec, or go on the city website, we have a tab there as well to get to the Park Rec page to see registration options for there. And just in general, going on our website, we've got some other programs coming up here in the month of November and so on. So like our turkey shoot program and some of our other ones. So feel free to take a look at our website for upcoming programs and information there. And as always, just a huge thank you to all the area businesses, parent volunteers, everyone else that we have sign up and be a part of our programs, because we can't do them without the many, many hands in the pot that we do. And we greatly appreciate everyone's in our community, and we look forward to our next event.
And I know signing up for events and activities, easy to do with the online registration. It's something you've done for 3, 4, maybe 5 years now, and it's pretty convenient for the folks, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, you know, and it's convenient kind of across the board. You know, for us, we're able to make a couple clicks in preparations for registration. And then once we hit start, that registration starts and people are able to do it from the comfort of their own home. So certainly people can still come into the office, and you can still register with us at the Park Rec office during our office hours. But otherwise, right online, a computer. You're able to register for your programs there as well. So it's kind of fun and very, very convenient for the community.
All right, Blake, we appreciate you taking some time to talk about the Touch of Truck event coming up this Saturday behind City Hall from 11 until 1, and all the other great stuff going on with the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department. We thank you for taking the time, and thanks for all you do for the young people and really everybody in the Decorah community.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. Thanks for having us on. I appreciate it.
Blake Moen from the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department. Touch a Truck coming up this Saturday behind City Hall from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You get a free lunch too. Sometimes when you work in this business and you're blessed to work with talented men and women that you have the privilege of calling coworkers, sometimes you get to steal their stuff because it's really good stuff. And earlier this week, Eric and Kathy, part of the morning team on Bluff Country 103.5 KNEI, had a discussion with Marissa Foels from Allamakee County 4-H. This is National 4-H Week, and we bring you that conversation right now.
It is National 4-H Week, and we're happy to be celebrating that this week. And we have lots of activities going on for our 4-H members, as well as with 4-H awareness with our public. So yesterday we had sidewalk chalk. So you may notice downtown or at people's homes there's sidewalk chalk. Today is showing your 4-H support by hanging a 4-H poster or a Join 4-H poster at a local business. Tomorrow we have trivia. So on Facebook all day we will have trivia. Wednesday we're wearing our 4-H apparel to school. Thursday we have Throwback Thursday, so we're posting our favorite 4-H memory. And then to end the week on Friday and Saturday, we're doing a little giving back with writing a thank you or community service or random act of kindness.
Oh, fun. What some great activities that you guys do. That is awesome. It definitely shows what 4-H is about. That's
Correct.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And later on, you got the soup supper coming up, right?
Yes, that is correct. We're busy making plans for our annual soup supper, which will be on Sunday, November 7th from 4 to 8 at the Allamakee County Fairgrounds Pavilion. So we're making plans for that with silent auction baskets and plans for our soup and desserts. And it's going to be a good time to celebrate the past year and celebrate moving forward into the new 4-H year.
Right. And registration, how does that work?
Yeah, so you can stop down at the Allamakee County Extension office any day between 8 and 4:30 p.m. and we'd be happy to help with enrollments. Our Clover kids are kindergarten through third graders, and then our traditional 4-H members are 4th through 12th graders. And we do have a kind of fun thing through October 31st. If you enroll in 4-H, your $35 enrollment fee is offset, but you have to be enrolled in the Allamakee County 4-H program by October 31st for that.
Okay, awesome. That's some good news. And now, when they come down and talk to you about registering, is that the point that they find out about clubs, or can they come in and suggest or ask for a club that they want to join?
Yeah, we have a brochure that has all of our clubs listed in Allamakee County with the leader contacts and kind of what the focus of each club is. Okay. But if you do come in and you know already what club you want to go to, that's perfect. And if you want to kind of, go to a couple club meetings and feel out what club is the best fit for you, that's perfect as well.
Awesome. Lots of great opportunities with 4-H. I know my kids are in it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't as a child. You were.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, it's lots of fun. I mean, lots of great experiences that you get to have, even going to the state fair, at the county fair, all kinds of different things. And I know you guys do other things around, throughout the year too, like for them to learn different things. What are some of the things that you've done?
Right. So recently I did a project workshop survey with our current 4-H members. So I'm making plans over Christmas break to hold different project workshops. So that could be photography, tractors, sewing and needle arts, clothing, food and nutrition, just about anything. So we have those, and then we have the tradition of the junior Halloween party coming up for our 4th through 6th grade members. We have 4-H camps and different activities that we're looking forward to planning here into the new year.
Awesome.
Wow, see, they're so busy. I love it.
It's just opportunities galore.
There is. So you can be as involved as you want or as little as you want. I mean, that's the nice thing about it. You can learn new things, or if you're comfortable with where you're at, that's fine too. That's a
there you go.
Great thing about 4-H. I
Yes.
mean, it's such a wide thing. It's, you get to pick how involved you want to be.
Yes, there is something for everybody in 4-H.
I personally thank Eric and Kathy and Marissa Foels from Allamakee County 4-H for taking some time to talk about 4-H here during National 4-H Week. Back and better than ever this year is the Northeast Iowa artist studio tour this weekend, and here to join us to talk about this tour this weekend is Glen Ellickson, and him and his wife Darla have been one of the founders of the tour for quite some time. And Glen, you had to go all virtual last year, and this year you're back in person. I'd imagine that it has to be a pretty cool feeling.
Oh, it's a great feeling, Goober. Last year, just for the safety of the artists and the safety of the people, we didn't feel it was good to have people driving all over and going into the different studios. We made the plans this year in February and March. We were making the plans for this thing, and at that point, the vaccine was rolling out. And we were very hopeful that things would be back to real normal. Well, then the Delta variant came along and kind of threw a little bit of a wrench into it, but we're still most studios are open, and we're looking forward to having people come around.
Are there any specific guidelines you want people to follow, or is it a case of just whatever the artists want you to do, follow those guidelines?
That's exactly it. These are all private properties. We're not public retail businesses. You're coming into people's homes and studios and yards. Every studio has set up their own guidelines. We're telling people to know before you go. The IowaArtTour.com, our website, IowaArtTour.com, has the latest information as to the studio guidelines. Most of the studios are going to want you to wear a mask, require a mask. Some studios are setting up an outdoor displays like they would in an art fair, as opposed to having you into their homes. And there are a few studios that, due to health concerns, have closed completely. So you should go to IowaArtTour.com to find out the latest in the studios that are closed and each studio's mandates and guidelines.
How many studios are going to be involved in this year's tour?
Well, we started out with 42 artists at 31 locations. We have had 4 locations that, due to health concerns, have closed. So we're still looking at roughly, 35 artists, 36 artists at over 27 studios right around in there. So there's still a lot to see all over the area.
And looking back at the start of this thing, a quarter of a century ago, knowing what you have, even in a quote unquote down year this year, this thing has grown massively since you guys started this thing back when you were just kids, right?
Darla and I had been on the art fair circuit for many, many years, and we knew artists from different areas. And there was a group of artists in Wisconsin that started a studio tour, and they told us how great it was. And we knew the talent that was in Northeast Iowa. I mean, there's world-class artists in Northeast Iowa, and a lot of people didn't even know it. So we knew we had the group of people that we could have a really good start. And I think we started out with 16 artists. It was a very small beginning, but since then it's grown to many years. We have 50 artists. And one of the great things about it, it started out with kind of the core group of the professional artists, the ones of us that were going out doing art fairs week after week. But since then, there's a lot of people that this is their only show. They're talented, they're woodworkers, they're different people that just have never been really known as artists, but they do wonderful work. And we're really, really proud of the fact that the studio tour has given them the opportunity to not only show their work and how it's made, but a chance to sell it also.
And I know these artists are all over Northeast Iowa. Is there a place where folks can go to see who's all involved in the tour this year?
Well, the simplest, if you have internet connection, is go to IowaArtTour.com. You can actually download the map. If you're coming from out of town and you don't really know what to do, go to Decorah first and stop at the Chamber of Commerce office. Or, there's a lot of the hotels and restaurants have the brochures in them, the Oneota Co-op. And so you could pick up a brochure, and once you go to your first studio, every studio should have brochures to pick up. So even if you don't have one, you should pick that up because there's a map in it. And we strongly encourage people to carry the physical map with them, because I don't know if a lot of people realize it, but you get down in some of these valleys around here and your GPS and cell phone isn't going to work. So all of a sudden you don't know you're supposed to take a left on, Echo Valley Road. So we encourage people to still carry the map. But yeah, a lot of people like to start in Decorah. That's a real good hub for the tour. We have a lot of artists right in Decorah, and they can pick up the tour brochure map at a lot of the coffee shops, Chamber of Commerce office, and the like.
As for the schedule for the tour and the days and everything like that, what is the schedule of where these artist studio is going to be open?
10 to 5 all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When you get out in the country, every place should have the official studio tour sign. It's a really pretty sign that people can see. Some of the corners on the gravel roads, if they're kind of tricky, there might be signs there also. But 25 years ago, when we first did this thing, 24 years ago, it was really important to have signs in all the tricky spots. Well, now most everyone has a GPS type unit in their phone, and they just punch in an address and it gets them right there. But we still, out in the country, you'll still see a lot of the signs with arrows as to which direction to go. In a town, every studio will have the sign in front of their place. So if you think you're close, look for the sign.
Anything we're missing? Anything else you want to pass on regarding the tour this weekend?
Well, we're just, like I say, Darla and I have put our heart and soul into this for 24 years. We're really proud of it. We're proud of what it's become for Northeast Iowa. And it's not just a Decorah tour, it's all of Northeast Iowa. And the quality of people, the tourists that we're bringing in are just a wonderful addition. And so many of them just fall in love with this area and come back again. And I'd like to thank the different radio stations that you've been a part of over the years. You started with one, now there's another one. One is communication, other stations around the area, for helping to support the tour and getting the word out there. It's really meant a lot to us, and we're really looking forward to having people come out to the studios again.
All right, Glen, we appreciate you taking the time. I used to see Glen every day at work, and hadn't seen him in quite some time. And I'm guessing Glen hasn't missed me either, but nonetheless. Glen, congratulations on getting the tour back in person this year. I know you and Darla put, as you said, your heart and soul into this, and it's become an annual great fall event in Northeast Iowa. And best of luck in every facet of the tour coming up this weekend.
Well, thank you, Goober. It's been really, really nice seeing you again too, my friend.
All right. And you don't have your fingers crossed or anything like that.
Not at all, right there.
All right. So Glen Ellickson, Northeast Iowa Studio Artist Tour coming up this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some big news came out last week as the Luther College baseball team will participate in the first ever college baseball game at the Field of Dreams movie site in Dyersville. And here to talk about that is Luther College head coach Bryan Nikkel. And Coach, how did this event scheduled for next fall come to be?
Yeah, Darren, Briarcliff head baseball coach Corey McLaughlin was I actually coached him my first college coaching gig, graduate assistant at Southwest Minnesota State University. Corby had the unfortunate to have me as his coach for a couple of years. And as we all say, it's sometimes about who you know, not what you know. And they came up with the idea and called us right away, and they were looking for a partner in this thing and on the eastern side of the state. And after talking with them, it was a pretty easy decision to say we were all in.
And when will this take place? And just talk about the logistics of playing in the fall under NCAA and conference guidelines. What are you allowed to do with your baseball program in the fall? And how do these type of games come to be in the fall?
Yeah, we're allowed to play, we're NCAA, they're NAI, so a few different rules as far as what we're allowed to do in our traditional seasons and non-traditional, but we're allowed to play one outside opponent. So we're going to use our play date in the fall to play Briarcliff next year, Friday, September 16th. And all the ticket information, everything will come out at some point here, maybe in the spring or summer. We're not really sure yet. We're the people above my pay grade are going through the details of that right now, and we're just trying to put together the greatest event we can and take our time with planning that. But yeah, we'll play them in a single game, use our play date on that Friday, September 16th for this Field of Dreams, which, sometimes it's more than just getting on a field and competing. How do we give our student athletes an experience they'll never forget? And that's what Briarcliff tries to do with their kids, student athletes, and that's what Luther tries to do as well. So that's what I think is going to make this partnership so great. Is it's not necessarily going to be about who's going to win the game, who's going to lose the game. How do we give a once-in-a-lifetime experience to a bunch of student athletes and that they can carry with them forever?
And how much discussion, how many logistics needed to take place before you could make the announcement last week?
Quite a bit of planning, but the bulk of it, the nuts and bolts, if you will, of what's going to happen was we were able to work through that pretty smoothly and pretty efficiently. Getting everybody's marketing departments involved here over the coming weeks is what they're doing now, and trying to work out the fine details. But really, right when it comes down to it, it's a baseball game. We've been doing it a long time. We know how to do it. The bases are 90 feet and the mound's 60 feet 6 inches. So let's go play.
And just to emphasize, this is going to be on the movie site and not like on the field that the White Sox and Yankees played on this year, correct?
You are correct. It will be on the movie site field, which I think will bring back a lot more nostalgia to the event. And as you know, Darren, baseball is a traditional game. And I think this will really pull in a lot of different eras of baseball and bring us all together that evening.
And when you pass this on to your team, how did they react to this opportunity being presented itself? And are there some guys that are seniors this year maybe want to come back next fall?
Yeah, no doubt. It was, it was hard to keep a secret from these guys. They're always paying attention. So we kept it under wraps really well. And it was a complete surprise to them on Friday. They found out, actually, the video and the announcement was made a little bit after 4 p.m. on Friday, and we were out at practice, and our kids had no idea. And we showed them the same promotional video all you folks saw, and the reaction was priceless. Of course, we were not recording it. I wish we were, but the pure joy in their that they had in their voices, and they erupted pretty loud with the announcement. And we told them we were shooting a hype video is why we needed to get them in the corn to come out of the corn. So we were able to use a local farmer's cornfield to shoot our portion of the video and send it over to Briarcliff, and they were able to put the video together, and turned out awesome.
And it was a pretty nice video, and I imagine to put something like that together takes a lot of people to make it reality, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the time frame was tight. We honestly didn't start talking about this until this fall, and then the October 1st deadline is when we wanted to announce it was Briarcliff's homecoming. It was our homecoming. Just made a lot of sense to get it out there. Plus, you can only keep a secret like that for so long, so it's best just to get out with it. And everybody worked really hard, and credit to Briarcliff and their folks there just really got after it and pushed the envelope, and Luther answered the bell too and got things turned around very efficiently and put together a quality video. And I think everything else is going to be fantastic as well.
And I know you touched on this a couple of questions ago, but obviously you want your kids to be successful on the baseball field. You want to set them up for success beyond the realm of sports, but giving your young men in your program an opportunity like this, how important is that in your overall program philosophy?
Yeah, Darren, I think it's top. The culture is number one in our program, and then a close second is player development, and we want to find out what we're made of and who we are, and the college years are awesome years. I think for me to be involved in that with our kids is just fantastic. It's extremely special and something our coaching staff doesn't take lightly. Their formal years, right? They're going from at home to a little bit on their own, right? To having to be a grown-up here at the end of their college career, and to give them something and to make them realize how fortunate we are as college athletes is something we try to do very regularly, because we're very fortunate. I say it all the time. I don't have a job. I get to coach baseball. There's no way I can call that a job. And for our guys who sometimes, I know the term in baseball is the grind, right? People want to talk about how big of a grind it is. And I don't think it is for college baseball players. This is awesome. They're going to miss waking up to go do weights in the morning. They're going to miss long bus trips at some point, maybe not right away after their career, but at some point they're going to wish they could come back and do all those things. So this is going to be one of those opportunities to showcase, hey man, we're really fortunate to, be able to get a world-class education, along with playing a game that we love on a daily basis. Whether you're a starter or you're not a starter in our program, it all should mean the same to them as far as the opportunity to call themselves a college athlete.
It'll be Luther and Briarcliff next September 16th at the Field of Dreams in Dyersville. Coach Nikkel, thanks for taking the time and telling us about this tremendous event coming up. I know it's kind of getting talked about nationwide, and that's a pretty cool thing. And most importantly, it's going to be great for the young people of both baseball programs to experience something that they'll probably never forget.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. Appreciate you having me on and the coverage that you give these student athletes. It's a big deal to them, and makes them feel, really big time, and we're excited for this opportunity. So go North.
Bryan Nikkel, head coach of the Luther baseball team. Next fall, it's a Luther and Briar Clips, September 17th at the Field of Dreams in Dyersville. Mark your calendars. Ticket information coming soon. A thank you to our guest on the program this morning, Luther College baseball coach Bryan Nikkel. Glen Ellickson, the Northeast Iowa Studio Artist Tour. The 24th annual event will take place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Iowa Art Tour is the website for that, iowaarttour.com. Marissa Foels from Allamakee County 4-H. We want to thank Eric and Kathy from KNEI for letting us borrow that interview from earlier this week. Blake Moen from the Decorah Parks and Recreation Department, the annual Touch a Truck event behind City Hall from 11 until 1 tomorrow. And, of course, the important issue of October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I want to thank Bethany Kohlmeyer from Helping Services for Youth and Family for joining us here this morning. Don't forget, we post these shows to YouTube each and every week, so you can actually see the conversations that we are having each and every week with the interesting people we have the privilege of getting to talk to and getting to let you know each and every week. Go to any of the Winnis Communications social media sites via Facebook, and you can have Our Town each and every week via video in case you can't tune in Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock. Our thanks to our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. Our thanks to our guest. And our thanks to you for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.